Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm out at the pistol range again. And today I'm going to be shooting my Archon Type B. So this is a Type B Gen 2. I did a video on this, kind of doing an overview of the build. And I don't know if I did any shooting footage, but it was pretty early on, so I'm not sure how much I covered. Anyway, this has been modified for me by Range 6. Great dudes over there, and they did some really cool work on this. So this gun comes stock with Talon rubberized grips on it, grip tape on it. So I had this swapped over to their aggressive skateboard tape style one. And then they did a trigger job on it. So this now has a 3.5 pound pull, but it literally has a little bit of take up. See if I can show you it through here. A little bit of take up, and then it hits a wall, and just a crisp break. Reset, also really good. They do a great job on that, and they actually have a even better trigger job option, which apparently drops it to 3 pounds. So this is supposed to be 4 pounds. I tested it yesterday on my trigger gauge, and I was getting 3 pounds 10 ounces, so 3.5 basically, but that's with some break-in, so I can't imagine what the 3 pound one would feel like. I'm probably gonna send it back out to get that done, because I'm probably gonna have to replace this tape pretty soon anyway, because I have a piece here that I kind of melted or something, and then it's a little jacked up back here. I'm just making excuses to send it back out. I have a Surefire X300 on here. It looks a little goofy because of how long it is, but that's because I have a Tier 1 MSP holster for the X300, so I can rock a lot of different options at the range. I do have a dedicated holster for this, but it doesn't work with the light, and I didn't want to switch up my whole belt rig and everything just for that. So that is why I am doing that. I have the Swampfox Liberty 2, I believe this is on here. It's the RMR size one. It was affordable, a couple $100, I think. It's been pretty good. It has shake awake. It has a green dot. I will say it does suffer from the same thing I mentioned on the Siley and the O-Sight C and K, where I do wish it had another brightness level or two. I can see the dot, but it's not as bright as I wanted it to be. Now, I've talked to Sealy about that, and they told me that's kind of just a red dot thing. But I feel like the O-Sight X and my SRO do have a little bit more brightness levels and do a little bit better in the sun. I could be wrong. I need to do a comparison to confirm that. But I do like this dot. It seems pretty good. So yeah, you could probably get it at Optics Planet. Use the code LeftyEDC for 7% off. I'm not sponsored by Swampfox. I bought this for this gun just because I wanted to try a different dot. The big thing that Range 6 did here is they put in ports. So they put in these V ports up front, and then they put in the V12 ports back here. So it's double ported. And then I also have the DPM Systems recoil reduction kit, which I might mess around with a little bit here. I have it out. I'm sure there's videos on that already. Sorry about the swaying. It's just windy out here, and I have the tripod weighed down with ammo bags. I have the softest spring in here, so I'm gonna see how that runs. It came from Range 6 with the second softest spring installed. So I realized that, and I put the softer one in now. This is made in the US and Germany, I believe. So the slide is made in Germany, according to this slide, but I believe they're starting to make them here. PTR does that. And then the grip, I believe, is made by PTR in the US. Now, I do have a threaded barrel for this as well. I bought the one that came with an RMR cut, and it came with a regular barrel and a threaded barrel. And I do have my Banish 9K here, so I might try that and see if the different DPM system springs if maybe we can get one to get that to run smoothly, because I've always had jams here and there with this, even though this one's real easy to unlock. That can doesn't have a Nielsen device, so it's just a little bit hit or miss. It's probably a better can for like a PCC, but anyway, we might mess around with that just to show you guys the can. I haven't done much on suppressors yet. I will, because I have a bunch and I really like cans. I just haven't, I've been really into pistols lately, and I'm not a big pistol can guy, even though I bought a bunch thinking I would be, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think they also cleaned up the frame to slide fit. That has a decent gap up here in the front. They cleaned that up some. There's almost no gap back here, which is really nice. You can check out my video where I go over the gun on desktop, but it's a very low bore axis. They have the striker and with the firing pin striker and the firing pin striker spring side by side in the slide. They're not together like on a normal striker assembly. And they did that so they could fit it next to each other and keep the bore axis low. Because if you put them together, it makes the slide taller. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit. You can check out, if you really want to nerd out on this gun and the trigger system and how everything works, you should check out Engineer's Armory. Really cool channel. I'm not like buddies with him. I'm not just shilling for the guy. I've watched his videos on certain guns that I have because he nerds out and gets into the nitty gritty, which is really cool. He even teaches you, I think, how to adjust the trigger on this. Not that you should do it, but yeah, so that's the Archon. Let us shoot this puppy and see how we do. So I'm probably going to use my Shooters Global timer, go timer or whatever here. But I keep forgetting to put new drills on it, so we don't have any great drills. We're just gonna do the slow fire one first, but I might pop off a few double taps just to kind of see how the follow-up shots are with this recoil spring with the DPM system kit. So here we go. Actually, I should probably make sure it's sighted in still. I did have this dot zeroed, but let's just make sure that is not close. Okay, so I am low. That tells me maybe I sighted it in at a different distance. Let me just move up and see what happens. I assume I sighted it from further back. Yeah, 5 yards, it's about right. Let me back up a little bit. This would be about 15 here. I don't know if you guys can see me. Maybe you can see me here, just so I can check. Yeah, those are a little low as well, so I might just adjust this a little bit to dial it in for what we're doing, right? I think I actually have the tool from Swampfox here, which is unusual for me. I do remember now, I think I did a video on this where I could not find a tool to work with it, remember? So I need to bring the bullet up. Oh, maybe this is not the right tool. Nope. This is an O-sight tool. Now I remember. We had the problem because these little flatheads are too fat for the Swampfox. Why they do different ones is beyond me. Yeah, I don't understand why one company has a way thinner setup on that. Let me try the flathead in my kit here. That looks a little thinner. Let's see if we can get that in there. Yes, okay, up. Okay, yeah, not a big fan of the clicks. Not very audible, and there's not much like, you don't feel the clicks really either. So let's just see where we're at now. Still a little low. I did order a extended magazine release button because that is also something that's a little annoying on this. Okay, dialed it up a little more. Feels good though. Also, I'm shooting 147s today. Yeah, they're just all low. I don't know if that's me or the gun, so I'm just gonna keep moving it. I don't know if I ever took it off or anything, or maybe the recoil kit or the ammo could make a difference. There we are. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, just gonna leave it alone there. All right, so I only have a couple rounds left in here. Just burned through a bunch of ammo because I suck at zeroing. But here we go. Okay, hit him in the neck. Not even close. 1.86. Present. That's what I need to work on, is just present. Present. Not bad. It feels like it always takes longer when I actually shoot though. Okay, 1.89. I'm aiming for the head for some reason on this USPSA target. I'm going to aim for the A zone here, or the body, whatever. Okay, it's a hit, 175. .160. Empty. 178. I suck ass. This gun feels a lot different to me than like my staccato for some reason. I mean, obviously it's different, but it's hard to get like a good grip on it. Terrible grip. Didn't count that one for some reason. Bullseye 177 or 178. Way early. 0.42. Hell yeah, dude. Miss 1.47. Man, I just suck at finding a dot. I gotta do some dry fire at home, work on presentation. Grip angle is different for sure though. It's a little bit lower, I think. 1.59. 1.69. Let me just do a couple double taps, feel that out. Yeah, return to zero is really good on it. I did order some mag extensions for this as well. They didn't get here in time. There's only one company that lists mag extensions for it. That's Taylor Freelance or something like that. There is one company, Kane Arms, that has polymer ones, but I don't want polymer ones. Apparently, CZ SP01 or CZ75 mag extensions will work. I don't know if that's true. I didn't want to risk it and spend, you know, 40 bucks a pop to find out they didn't. So, all right. That felt good. 1.49. Like jerking, I didn't hit the button. Missed 138. Man, I see people who can draw and hit in under a second. That's like insane to me. I don't know what it... I mean, if I could get the presentation there. I mean, I know I'm slow. Got to get my support hand up. Just finding that dot is a bitch for me, dude. It's just never where I expect it to be. And I wait to see it on target to fire, you know what I mean? Like that time I fired without seeing the dot, you know? It's just always high. So I gotta come down lower. That was 131 on target. I don't know if I went early though. Kind of guessed. That's in there. 1.51. Again, I'm guessing that my dot's gonna come down. I'm pulling the trigger before I see the dot, but I'm guessing it's gonna come down because that's how I've been drawing. I'm always high, so I need to come up lower, I guess. Now I'm low. See what's going on here. We're jammed up. Don't want to play this game that I do sometimes. I try to put the round back in. But I think I learned my lesson. Don't do that, Kev. Off target. Terrible grip. I just hesitated because I was like, should I pull it or not? I think maybe I have I wonder if I have the holster too far back. Like I should have it. I see some guys have it like along their thigh up here, which would be faster. But I don't know. I don't think that's my problem. 172. I think my problem is like just hitting it. Getting on target, I mean. 174. .175, yeah, waiting for that dot is my problem. 145, not sure if I hit there. I'm gonna move over to a different target. Okay, good hit, 157. Good hit, 150. Good hit, 163. That was shitty. I wasn't sure if I hit the button or not. Good hit, 161. So I could do that all day practicing. I don't want to bore you guys to death with that, so let's switch it up. One hand shooting, nah. Slow fire, nah. Bill drill, let's do a bill drill. I mean, the follow-up shots are absolutely magnificent. 0.17 on the splits, it looks like. Or maybe it's showing me all the shots. 0.17, 0.19. How do I go down? 0.19, 0.20, 0.20, 0.27 on the second shot, but then I was at 0.2 or less the rest of the way. The best was 0.17, which is pretty good, I mean, for me. 1.89 was the first shot, and that's your problem right there. So let's try that one again. Let me just check I have enough ammo, make sure all that stuff. I think I have enough, yeah. Okay. .16 was my best. And then 0.19, 0.22. That first shot, 1.77, so still not great, you know. Do I have enough for one more? I may. Yeah, I think I have just enough for one more, so let's see. That felt good. So 1.46 was the first shot. 0.18, 0.19, 19, 20, 22. So, and 20. Pretty good for me on that. Let me load up some more magazines. I might do a few more of those drills. And then I'm gonna grab the suppressor out. I'll show you guys that because I'm sure you guys are sick of watching me do build drills and shit. I gotta come up with some new drills and stuff. So when I come back for you guys, I'll have the suppressor and we'll fuck with that, all right? Hey guys, so I lied. I'm gonna show you how to install the suppressor. So basically you put it to slide lock, so clear it, obviously. Make sure it's nice and clear. Put it to slide lock. Put my dot back up just in case. Then you have this little button right here, little pin, push that through. And then you have, on this side, you have the button head side of that. And you need to just scoop under there and pop it up. Now, when you disengage the slide lock and pull the trigger, it'll come right off. Then you're gonna put aside your grip. You're gonna take out your recoil spring, which is, in this case, the DPM one. Like this, it's kind of like a triple spring. It's got the spring here for softening the recoil on when it comes back. It's got this spring here, I think, to help go back into battery. And then it has your main spring here to help with both, I guess. I don't know. Then you have a locking block right here. This just comes up and out, and then the barrel can slide forward, and you can pop it up and take it out like you would a tilting barrel design. This is not a tilting barrel design. It's called AF Speed Lock, I believe. So then you want to take your threaded barrel, take off your thread protector. If you have one, set it aside and don't forget it. You want to take your slide and you want to slot in your new barrel. Do I have to take off the, god damn it. I'm gonna take off the O-ring as well from the threads. It's one reason I don't like threaded barrels. So slot it into place, put your O-ring back on. I think this is a different O-ring than came with it because they all break super easy. I bought a pack from Shadow Systems. Then you take your locking block. It only goes in one way, so if it doesn't fit, you turn it around and it should drop in like so. Now you're going to take your recoil spring, slot that into the recoil pocket, push down, and you're good to go on the slide. Now you're going to put that whole assembly onto the rails like so. You're going to pull back on it, and as you do that, put pressure on this pin over here so it pops through. And then once you just pull back a slight bit, it'll let it pop through. And now we're good to go. Let me see if I can get this on with the Surefire on there. It looks like I can. So this is a Silencer Central / Banish 9K. It's a very small can, 2.7 ounces. 3D printed titanium, Cerakoted black, and then it is 4 inches long. So she said, so you just, in this case, it has 1/2 by 28 threads. So I'm just gonna turn it counterclockwise till it kind of clicks. And I find the end of that thread and then twist it clockwise to secure it. Get it to come over that O-ring a little bit. And then tighten her down. The O-ring is kind of spraying out. I hate these. You need to kind of help that O-ring in. Pistol can, you want to check all the time. Yeah, see, it's kind of destroying that O-ring. I'll probably have to replace it right away, but that's okay. So you can see that O-ring is getting wrecked right here. But that's okay, it worked. And we're on with the Surefire, which is kind of nice, actually. So there is your can. I don't think it'll fit in my MSP holster with it. That'd be sick. Nope, you can get holsters though. But let us see if this puppy will fire reliably. So the issue I've had with the Archon, the main reason I got this gun is because it's apparently really easy to unlock. Which, what I mean by unlock is when you have a tilting barrel design like a Glock where the barrel goes back a little bit and then up, it's a little harder to unlock the action. So when that shot fires off, because of the heavy recoil spring and the way it tilts, it's harder for it to start like moving backwards. It takes a lot of pressure to move it backwards. This gun, because of the AF Speed Lock, which is a straight design, doesn't tilt, doesn't need that extra action. It goes straight, kind of like a Beretta or something. Those are supposed to be easier because they unlock easier. The slide is easier to rack. It's more like, so if you take a Glock and then you take a 1911, you have a Glock, really hard to rack, right? It's hard to unlock. Or like a SIG P365, they suck to rack. Not good for somebody with shitty hands or somebody who's old or a feminine person. I won't say a woman, a feminine person. Right? And then on the other end, you have a 1911 or 2011 where people can just air rack the thing, right? This is somewhere in the middle, okay? Even with the stock spring, but especially with this DPM Systems kit, and I have the softest one in here, okay? Now, keep in mind, the ports are no longer ports, okay? This is now a threaded barrel. It's a different barrel. It has not been drilled for anything. So we are closed there, right? So let's see how it goes. 147 grain HSL ammunition, and we have the Banish 9K. Let me actually hang a target, set that aiming over there so it's not aiming down range at me. Grab a couple splatter targets, and once I get these up and once we shoot, I'm gonna need to wrap it up because my daughter's coming home and I don't want to be super duper late like usual. Trying to be better about that. And I'm out of staples, so one target it is. All right. Let's rock and roll, folks. Here we go, 147 grain Archon Type B Gen 2 with the Banish 9K. And I can see my sights, which is nice, and my red dot. So it fired. I did something. Did it eject? I don't know, I didn't see. So we'll see if we get a click here. Beautiful. How about that, DPM? Coming in clutch with the soft spring setup. With the Banish 9K, we are rocking and rolling here. Now, I am gonna take my ears off. Let's see. Again, I don't wanna point it at myself at all. I wish I could clean my hands a little bit before I take these out, but. So it takes a little bit of finagle, just get it out of your ear canal like so. Let me put that down here. Turn this one off. This one usually tends to grab on my ear canal a little more. It kind of hurts sometimes when I pull it out, so I try to be careful. I always clean these with, man, it's so much different without the ears. I always clean those with lead-free wipes, like the lead remover wipes that I have in my truck that I always use after shooting. Yeah, so let's see how this sounds to my ear with the Banish 9K. No ringing. It's barely. I mean, I could do that all day. Could do that all fucking day, baby. Now, I probably wouldn't want to shoot 147 grain. We could test that, or 124, we could test that. Let's check the accuracy with it. A little high. Let me back up to where I was. I don't know where those are going. I don't even see them. I think they're just going high. Let me aim low. Yep, they're going high a little bit. Feels great, man. I'm not getting a bunch of smoke. Like here, I'll put it up to the camera so you can see it. One-hand it. Let me know what you guys think. Trying to aim too. See if we get locked back. Yep, we got locked back. I mean, that's money, dudes. The O-ring got shredded, so that's gone. So yeah, I gotta find smaller O-rings. It sucks. I don't know why threaded barrels don't come with like 10 extra O-rings. I always have issues with them. It's probably loose too. I probably should have checked it in between there. I'll do that before I fire off these 124s. I'm gonna load these up. I have my ammo bag holding up the tripod. I'm just gonna grab a few out of here. Ooh, they're hot. Sitting out in the sun. It's a warmer day today. Maybe I can go in the pool when I get home. That'd be sick. All right, so I got 4 rounds here. We'll see how these feel. I'm gonna see if I can tighten this up real quick. Grab a cloth so I don't burn the shit out of myself. Don't be grabbing cans after you shoot them. It's not a good idea. Yeah, it definitely loosened up, but not enough to, don't think we had a baffle strike. Here is our ammo. See if I slam it in, if I get it to slide up. Nope. Okay, let's see if this hurts. So these are 124 grain. I think they're 1050 feet per second. So the sound barrier I think is 1115 or something like that at a certain elevation and temperature. So it's gonna be hit or miss if this is supersonic. Most likely it will be, but it is a shorter barrel, so we'll see. See if it hurts. Actually, it's a little louder, but no ringing at all. No, dude, I really like this can. I know a lot of people think it's useless. They think it doesn't actually make anything hearing safe, but I think I just proved that it actually does. You just don't want to shoot 115 grain with it. You know, I've tested that too. And with supersonic rounds, it does bring the volume down. It's almost tolerable, but I definitely would not want to shoot it all day without ears on with 115s. But with 147s, I could literally shoot this all day, not a problem. 124s, I think I could too. They're a little louder, but not loud enough to be a problem. So I'm impressed, you know? I'm just not a big pistol can guy. And the reason for that is they're kind of annoying. So most people are not gonna get a pistol can like this. That's 4 inches, 2.5 ounces, right? They're gonna get something bigger that works on rifles too. And they're gonna have a Nielsen device in there that has a spring and all this shit. It adds a bunch of weight to the front of your pistol. And then it also blocks your sights because usually they're a lot thicker than this. But this, you know, beyond the accuracy difference, I mean, it really doesn't feel all that different than shooting the gun without it. So I could sit here and do drills with this and it would be fine. I wouldn't because it's longer and I don't have a holster for it. My point is, it's pretty damn cool. So I bought this can. It was like 600 bucks or something, 700 bucks. And right now, I think Silencer Central actually has some kind of like free tax stamp thing going on. I know a lot of people are hating on them right now, and I don't know. I don't think we have proof of what happened there, but I don't know if they're sinister or if they just were thinking there's no way they're going to remove it from the NFA. So we should just lobby towards getting rid of the $200 tax stamp. I think that's where they were coming from versus like, oh, we want to get rid of the tax, but not the actual NFA, because then we get to keep doing our system and selling people our services. That is a sinister way of looking at it, of course, and could be true. But I don't know. I feel like maybe they were just trying to get it to be cheaper and they didn't think it was possible to get it off the NFA, which is actually what happened. So I don't know. But anyway, this can's cool. So check them out if you want. And just so you know, if you're looking at cans and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to wait till January when it's free, or maybe you'll never get one because it's still in the NFA, whatever. Looks like a storm's coming in. I got to get out of here. My point is, right now, a lot of companies are doing free tax stamps. So you can get one now and not pay the tax stamp. So you might as well. But anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for checking out my Archon and the Swampfox Liberty 2 and the Banish 9K. Love you guys. I'll catch you later.